This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Good win from the New York Knicks, ladies and gentlemen. A much-needed win. After they blanked on the trade deadline, this was needed. I think every Knicks fan needed this win tonight. I know I needed it today, this morning, whenever it is. You know what I mean? On the West Coast is tonight. Here on the East Coast is this morning. Whatever. We all needed the win. And the Knicks got the win. And to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks could very well and maybe even should be 3-1 on this road trip. The only bad game they played was in Denver, where they got smacked. But they had a 21-point lead against the Los Angeles Lakers. They had a 12-point lead twice against the Utah Jazz. And then tonight versus the Golden State Warriors, they had a 13-point lead, which they did let slip away. And their game got to within 2. But the Knicks was able to pull it out, ladies and gentlemen, by playing good defense and hitting some timely shots. And this might have been the most complete game of the season from the New York Knicks. The energy was up the entire game. The defense was up the entire game. And guess what? They never really had an offensive lapse throughout the game. You know, normally the Knicks, they'll go through a stretch. They might begin to stretch, but not playing well. And then they play well. Maybe the bench comes in and plays well. And then the third quarter, they go completely flat. And then the bench comes in and plays well. Sometimes it's opposite. Not tonight. The New York Knicks played a complete basketball game from beginning to end. Tom Thibodeau will probably say they played 46 minutes of good basketball because obviously they made some mistakes. But the Knicks played really, really good tonight. You know, so this is a big win, especially, you know, when you look at the fact that the Knicks could have went and the Knicks could have been 8 games below 500 after tonight. This was a big one to pull out. And they're still 6 games below 500. But they keep themselves in the conversation for that play-in game, ladies and gentlemen. And they were led by Julius Randle tonight. Man, Julius Randle played good basketball from top to bottom as well. And throughout this road trip, he's been playing really good basketball. 28 points from Julius Randle, 16 rebounds, 7 assists, only 2 turnovers. He shot 43% from the field. He didn't make a 3. But his overall play was good. His energy was good. The speed at which he played the game was good. Evan Fournier did his job. He had 22 points, 7 for 17 from the field, but he was 5 for 13 from the three-point line. Then Alec Burks, he came through tonight, 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. And then Cam Reddish played a big role in the Knicks winning tonight, ladies and gentlemen. 12 points from Cam Reddish, 3 assists. He got in towards the end of the game, got fouled, missed one of the free throws, and you can see he was kind of upset with himself. But he made the next free throw. You know what? Listen, that's going to happen. He came in the game kind of cold, but the reason why Tom Thibodeau brought Cam Reddish in that particular situation is because he's been 100% from the free throw line since he's been a New York Knick. And he was 2 for 2 tonight. Before that, missed free throw. He ended up the night 3 for 4 from the free throw line. But he played a significant role in the Knicks win tonight. 12 points, 3 assists, 2 steals. Taj Gibson, 10 points, 7 rebounds. Mitchell Robinson had 7 points and 11 rebounds tonight. Good overall win from the New York Knicks. I got my man Tony Crow in the building. Tony, what's popping with you, brother? How you feeling?
Peace, son. Salute, chat. Yo, Black, it's time. Yeah, you said, like us Knicks fans, we needed that win, but I tell you what, the Knicks themselves, they needed that win too. I think they all had a good sigh of relief. You know what I mean? Nobody got to look over their shoulder, and they can really focus on them as a collective and sticking together and doing the best they can with the rest of the games we got left.
Right.
So, big win.
And you know what? Even if they weren't worried per se about being traded, just the fact that now listen, this is solidified for the remainder of the year.
Absolutely.
Helps you to be able to focus or refocus. You know what I'm saying? Now, what happens at the end of the season happens. But given that the trade deadline is over, you don't have to think about it. You know who your team is going to be. You don't have to think about or worry about any other changes or any other adjustments to the lineups, et cetera, et cetera. You can just focus on the guys that you have at hand, win or lose. You know what I mean? Win or lose. So that does help in a sense. But the Knicks still got a ways to go. They got a ways to go to climb back in it. But I expect them to still fight. Hey, they play Portland on their next game, whenever that is. They play the Portland
Saturday at 5.
Saturday, okay, Saturday. They play the Portland Trailblazers. You would think that they should win that game based on who the Trailblazers have right now. And if the Knicks get that game, well, they climb back to within 5 games of 500. Then they'll have a schedule that, could be winnable. Then you see where they go from there after the All-Star break. Good win for the New York Knicks tonight, though, ladies and gentlemen. Very good win for the Golden State Warriors. Of course, they were led by Steph Curry. 35 points from Steph Curry. What do you expect? Steph Curry's going to get his. And I'm going to tell you what, I was scared to death those last 5 seconds, whatever it was, of the game. I was like, I know one of these dudes is going to hit a 3. And as soon as they came in from the timeout, I'm looking across the board. I'm like, man, they got nothing but 3-point snipers on the floor. Nothing but 3-point snipers. I was surprised. I don't know if they chose to go for 2, but I guess that's what opened up for them. Anyway, Steph Curry had 35 points and 10 assists tonight. Klay Thompson, 17 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds. Jonathan Kuminga, I like that kid, man. He's a baller. He can hoop. He had 17 points, 5 rebounds. Andrew Wiggins, 15 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. Jordan Poole had 11 points. They got guys all over the board that can score the basketball. Damian Lee had 8 points. But for the most part, the Knicks played good defense against these guys, man. They played pretty good defense tonight. You gotta, you gotta give it up to them. I mean, they shot well from the field, 46%, but they only shot 33% from 3. They did have 27 assists on the night. Overall, though, good basketball game from the New York Knicks. A good basketball game, enjoyable basketball game overall. Steph Curry did, he broke up Julius Randle's ankles one good time. He did it to him. He did it to him. But, Julius Randle came back. Spree, what's popping with you, brother? How you feeling?
Oh, Sim, I needed that.
Yeah, I think everybody did, bro. Everybody needed it. Everybody
So when
needed
Burks was inbounding that ball, were you scared?
I mean, anytime the Knicks do anything, I'm scared, man, because, they're a team that doesn't execute well. So, yeah. Yeah, I was scared.
I was scared. I mean, he threw that up to Randle. Randle found Cam. I'm happy for Julius, man. I mean, he's playing better. I think he's reading the game better. He's letting his instincts take over by playing with the faster pace. And he has just been incredible in this road trip. The rebounding, the assisting, all the things that we talked about, Sim, the whole year, just what we wanted to see, leading the team. Mitch, to me, is taking it to a new level. I haven't seen he's been better, but this is to me, he's dominating. I mean, he's giving me 8 offensive rebounds, Sim. That's different.
Hey, Spree, you see the little baby hook?
Yeah, that was a nice little miracle emergency little hook there. I mean, I don't know if he's like, oh, the rim's right there. Let me just throw this up. Because remind me, it was like a scramble player. He picked it up. I think that's what happened. I don't know, but yeah, that was a nice play. Kemba didn't shoot it well, Sim, but he did give me 6 assists and he made 1 big 3 off of a Julius good pass.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give him that. What did you think of the final play? Do you think that was good defense by Evan or just Clay just missed the shot?
Well, it started off good defense by Evan, and then obviously Clay, faked him, and Evan went for the shot fake, and then he was wide open. So it was good defense, but then in the end, he got faked. It's tough because that's going to happen sometimes. Even if you're playing good aggressive defense, you're susceptible to being getting caught on a fake or whatever it was. So I thought it was decent enough defense.
I mean, I think Clay's really good, and Clay always does that pump fake. But at least I'm proud of Evan that he didn't foul or do something stupid.
Yeah.
So I mean, at least make Clay make the play. So I mean, I thought the Knicks deserved to win the game. I think they did deserve to win the basketball game.
Yeah, they did. They deserved to win the game, and they won it. I can only ask that they do this again, right? That they can bottle up what they were able to do tonight for 48 minutes. And that's always going to be, part of the issue. Can they continue to do this for 48 minutes every single time they step on the floor? It's tough.
Let me ask this. When does Rose get back?
Sometime after the All-Star break.
So you say a couple weeks?
Yeah, a couple weeks.
2 weeks? Okay. Yeah, we need him back. That could stabilize this thing. But, no, I mean, I like Reddish. I mean, he missed a free throw, but it happens. I mean, Burks missed a free throw. But overall, Cam Reddish has good size.
Mm-hmm.
He gave me 3 assists and 2 steals. I know he took a couple bad shots, but I like him, Sim.
I
like Cam Reddish.
See, he gives the Knicks something that they don't have. Right?
Yeah.
His ability to get inside the lane, but it doesn't look like he's working to do it. Right? He's just smooth. He's very, very smooth. But he has the ability to get in the lane and create when he's in the lane. He's very aware of where his spots are on the floor, from what I see. He knows when to cut. And because he knows when to cut, it's hard not to give the guy the ball when they cut to the right spot. So he cuts from the weak side very, very well. He's a smooth basketball player. He looks like he plays decent enough defense, in my opinion. He's got good feet. He's got good instinct on the defensive side of the ball. He does a few questionable, plays. Some spin. He might spin around 3 people or something like that. But he's 21 years old. He's got time to grow. I like what I've seen from him so far.
Plus his smooth game, Sam. I think the refs like him, or like his type of game he'll get calls. I think he'll get calls. I don't know, like the certain players, like you're talking about, like the smooth game, it's pleasing to the eye. The refs will reward him. I don't know. I like him. There's just something about Cam that's there. I'm not saying he's fully there yet. He's a young player, but I see something in him. I'll just say this. Fournier had a big play. I'll give him credit. He made a huge three to make it a 5-point game. I don't remember when that was, but it was about to go downhill, and he made a big play. So I want to give him credit. And also I want to give Mitch credit for that one offensive rebound that led to the Grimes three. So, look, man, I mean, this trip could have easily...
That was a big three.
It was.
That was huge. And for Grimes to be able to... Listen, Grimes has been able to do it since he's been getting playing time. But for him to stand in there and knock down that three was a big one. I think that gave the Knicks a 4-point lead, I believe.
I think seven.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It gave him a 7-point lead. That was a big three. That was a big... you know, the Knicks... The Knicks did tonight in that situation what teams have been doing to the Knicks all season long. Get a couple of offensive rebounds, miss a three. Offensive rebound, miss a layup. Oh, actually missed another three. Offensive rebound, and finally knock it down. That's been happening to the Knicks all season long. They did it tonight.
They did. That's what I'm saying. They deserve to win the game. They got the hustle plays. They actually played good defense, what I consider one of the best, if not the best, toughest offense to guard. And I just think, like, again, it all comes back, like, the bench has got to play well. Finally, we got production from the bench. Burks always will throw up a couple heaves if it's his night where he looks, I'm not going to say MJ, but you know what I'm talking about, Tim. He just throws it up, and it just goes in. But Julius, to me, when he plays like that, the New York Knicks have chances to win games. I don't understand why we haven't seen this Julius. Why this? Is it just the West Coast? Is it the weather? I don't understand. But the guy I saw tonight, the pace, that's the guy we saw last year at times. And I just want to keep this guy sim.
But
at this level.
I do want to disagree with you a little bit. And I said this.
I never saw the pace, but I saw the quicker decisions.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
Because, see, last year I thought there was still a lot of ground and pound with Julius Randle. Get the ball in the post, pound it, let the defense collapse, and then find somebody to kick it to. In these last 5-6 games, I don't
think we've ever seen the pace like that, to be fair. No.
Right. There's been very little ground and pound. You know, it's been I'm touching the ball and I'm going. So it's been somebody else swinging the ball to him, and then he's going once the ball is swung to him, which is great. Every once in a while, he gets a chance to pound and ground. I think they're doing a lot more, finding him at the elbow and allowing him to face up. So now that he's facing up, he can see where the double team is coming from. And sometimes teams aren't even sending the double team because he's facing up and he's able to see the defense, right? So teams aren't even sending the double team. And then he's also being found in the pick and roll a whole lot more. And he's rolling hard to the basket. And he's able to elevate with so much aggression when he does roll off the screen. You know, he catches it and he elevates. He's not elevating like Mitch and dunking it. You know what I mean? But his aggression to just go through people and get to the basket is very effective when he comes off that screen and roll. You know, so the Knicks have found new ways for Julius Randle to score the basketball without it being just pound it.
You're right. I mean, I think last year there was a point in time where when he would pound it, but where we would get a lot of the quick decisions and assists. You're right. It's I haven't seen this where they really have the pace, finding the different spots. It's not just been pound. But I also think I don't know, for some reason in doing all those things, like you're saying, rolling hard, I kind of think he didn't think as much. Like, I don't think he had one pass in. It was one pass where he threw it in the stands. That was one play.
Right.
He threw it like over Kemba's head.
Right.
Other than that, for the most part, he got in the game. Like, he didn't have to, it wasn't really thinking. He was just moving so quickly where, like, and people forget this about Julius, and I'll let you go on this. Julius Randle is a strong, big guy. If you've never seen Julius Randle in person, I don't think people realize how strong this guy is. When he attacks with force like that, there's not many guys in the league that can stop him. He's just very, very big and strong. So I don't know, man. I like what I'm seeing, and I'm happy. I'm happy for him. That's all I got.
Yeah, no doubt. Appreciate it, Spree.
All right, man.
Appreciate it.
Peace.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. Julius Randle played a good basketball game, and I like seeing this faster pace that he's playing with. It's something we've been asking for all season long, to just play quicker, make quicker decisions, don't hold the ball, don't over dribble. It's still going to happen from time to time. There's no doubt about it. You know what I mean? It's part of his basketball game. He's going to over dribble sometimes, but he's playing at a much faster pace and getting the ball out of his hands, making quicker decisions. He doesn't always have to make the decision now. You've seen even in the clutch tonight, he was in the corner while some other guys were making decisions out there, right? You see Alec Burks go to the basket. He found Quentin Grimes cutting, and then Grimes gave it to Mitch. He got stripped, but, that was a chance where Julius Randle was just in the corner, and everybody else was able to create. So it's that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. Very good thing. Big shout out to Nicky B from Harlem. He said, and let me get it up here on the screen so I can see it a little bit clearer before I read it out. My man Nicky B said, Julius and Cam looked really good together tonight. Let's hope we see more of these two sharing the court in the future. I think you probably will. It takes times like this for Tom Thibodeau to build trust in a player. It takes these type of situations and these type of scenarios. Can Reddish better, and I don't mean to use this as a tongue twister, but these are just the words that came to my mind. Reddish better relish these minutes. Savvy, what's good, bro?
Are you rapping now, Sim? What's good with you, man?
Nah, man.
Hey, shout out to the chat. Shout out to the panel. Shout out to the New York Knicks. Shout out to Cam Reddish, Quentin Grimes, and Tom Thibodeau.
Before you go there, I just want to shout out to everybody that's watching, because it's 1:21 in the morning and there's still 335 people here checking us out, man. Big shout out to all of y'all, for real, because, if I was you guys, I'd probably be knocked out. Like, man, I check that joint out in the morning. But I appreciate you all for being here with me. No doubt about it. Go ahead, Savvy.
There's nothing like the live show. You feel me? I just want to give one last shout out to the fans out there. I know we all got a little bit electrified right now watching this game. A lot of y'all probably thought we was going to lose this game. Didn't you? But
no doubt about it. It's no doubt about it. I did. When we did the trade deadline special, I was supposed to do a game preview at the end, and I was just like, man, what's the sense? You know what I mean? Seriously, I was like, what's the sense?
But, you know what I mean? Hey, I'll say this. There's two types of Golden State Warriors teams. The ones that got Draymond and the ones that don't. That being said, I'm not taking nothing away from the Knicks for this one, because we actually look pretty darn good out there. I want to give a shout out to Tom Thibodeau, especially because I feel like in a certain way he was able to read the room. We didn't make any moves at the trade deadline. And what did you see happen with Cam Reddish? The first game post-deadline, not only does he get minutes early, but he plays himself into being able to play and stay in the game down the stretch. And the last caller, Spree, he just said that Julius and Cam look good together out there. I felt like Cam looked good in every single rotation set that he played with. And I feel like his style of play makes him very compatible, almost like a new Swiss Army knife. That we can put in with any set that we have out there, and he'll still be able to get his and get some things happening, and also because he can cut, and because he's an outside threat, he can be able to create opportunities for other players on the team. He had 19 minutes, he had like 12 points and 3 assists, and he made his free throws.
Yeah,
I mean. Just the fact that we're playing against Golden State, they got Steph and Clay out there. It's a close game, and he's still in the game down the stretch. QG is still in the game down the stretch. QG made a very important 3-pointer for us down the stretch. These are the types of seasoning the types of opportunities, the types of, valuable experiences that we want to give here and there to each of our young players to see if they can rise to the occasion, to let them learn and take their lumps. I really enjoyed the fact that Cam Reddish was able to get that turnover late in the third quarter and not get sat down immediately. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because it shows that listen, we're going to give this guy a chance. Okay, you messed up. Now go back over there and make it right.
Right.
That's, to me, that's development 101 right there. So shout out.
Yeah. You know what I do hope? I hope that when Derrick Rose comes back, Cam Reddish plays some of IQ's minutes. I feel like IQ right now needs to sit back and watch the game.
Yeah.
And I know people's going to say, well, some people say he needs to be on the floor to develop, but sometimes part of development is watching from the sideline to, figure out what I need to do. Because I just don't feel like he's playing good basketball. I don't want to rain on the parade today or tonight after this win, but I don't feel like IQ is playing good basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like so many times during the game, he dribbles in, nothing's there, he comes back out, and then instead of reversing the basketball so somebody else can get a touch and we can make the defense shift, he tries to penetrate back in or pull a three or do something like that. And he'll make a three, he'll make a shot here and there, but right after he makes a shot, and now he feels like he's hot. And I love his spirit, and you need to have players like this on your team. But sometimes you got to reel them in, right, so that they can reconfigure themselves and then get them back out there on the floor, with a new mindset. I feel like Cam Reddish can also be one of these guys that you have to reel in every once in a while, too.
Yeah.
With the way that I see him playing some of the things that he does every once in a while, I feel like he could be one of these guys that you got to do that to as well.
I could see that easily happening.
Yeah.
But real quick, Tone, sorry to cut you off, but I just want to point out two things about the body like the body language that IQ has. One, it seemed like when he's dribbling into the paint, he has his head down, or he has some kind of tunnel vision. He's not really aware of his surroundings in terms of where his teammates are and how he can exploit those passing lanes that become available to him upon penetrating. And so then he chooses to dribble back out instead of dishing it off. And also when he shoots the ball, even though the shots will go in, it seems like, his feet are so wide apart and he's kind of leaning. And I'm like, just those two things right there, just kind of, I'm like, maybe tweak that stuff and work on it a little bit better, because I feel like if he would adjust that habit of dribbling back out of trouble when he dribbles into the paint, then he could make a lot less mistakes and take a lot less time off the clock.
Yeah, no doubt. Somebody in the chat just said, did you see Steph Curry the past however many games leave IQ alone? Steph Curry. IQ is not Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? Steph Curry earned the right to be as bad as he wants to be, and Steve Kerr give him the leash as long as he wants to give it to him. IQ hasn't earned that yet. He hasn't earned it yet. Let me get to the phone call. Go ahead, Tony. I'll get to the phone call after you. Go ahead, Tony.
I said it, early in the season, Grimes is making IQ expendable. And I don't mean that as necessarily got to get rid of him, but like you said, Sam, reel him in. Let him sit. Let him watch. Let him have some accountability. And the same way these young guys got to learn when they mess up, watch. He got to get reeled in at times too. And Cam, I don't think he has bad shot selection. I think he kind of he doesn't focus on his shot. Like, he doesn't set his feet. He fades sometimes. He leans instead of kind of getting squared up. Once he starts to square up, because RJ had that issue early as well. So hopefully, whoever worked with RJ on it gets to Cam, because once he starts squaring up, I think his shot is going to be water.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's not really the shot selection. Sometimes it's what he does in traffic. You know what I mean? Like I seen one time tonight, he dribbled into traffic and then he tried to spin his way out of it and he lost the ball. And ended up going to somebody on the Knicks and the Knicks scored. But I think, some of those things, it's young player stuff. Young player stuff.
Yeah.
Caller, you're live. Tell me your name and where you from, please.
What's good, sir? It's AK. What's poppin', man?
What's poppin', brother? How you feeling, man?
You on long talk, brother? Everything cool with you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I feel good. Feel real good.
That's a good thing. Yo, Sam, conversation you had a while ago before the season started about Randle.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see it crash in the burn? I'm starting to see it crash in the burn with Randle and the coach.
You think so?
I've been seeing a lot of argument. He wasn't even in the huddle tonight. If you go back, he stepped out the huddle, and who that Payne had to step to Randle and try to calm him down. So something going on there with Tom and Randle.
It could be. It could be something going on between the two. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Tom wants Randle to change some things that he's doing, or maybe I seen in the chat, as a matter of fact, not in the chat, 1975 Jam Rock, thank you for the super chat. He said reporting out there as players are getting tired of Tibbs. I don't know. The only thing I can say is I know from experience that, when you coach a team, sometimes things run hot. And, there could be something that you're disagreeing on or butting heads over, for a little while, and things run hot and it takes time to cool down, and then you get your rhythm back or you get your chemistry back or whatever it is. Hopefully, he's not running thin on the players.
That's what it looks like, bro. I heard Derrick Rose got at him too on time. So I don't know what's going on in that locker room. I don't know, man. I mean, I still got us making a play-in, bro. I'm not going to front with you right now.
You think so?
I don't care what's going on, but I still got us in the play-in.
Okay. I mean, right now.
What, we 2.5?
About. I'm pulling it up right now to see where we are. Right now, the New York Knicks are 2 games behind the Atlanta Hawks. Okay, 2 games. The Knicks are 25-31. The Hawks are 26-28. All right, the Knicks got a leap over the Washington Wizards, who just got Kristaps Porzingis, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that's going to help him or hurt him. You know what I mean? Bradley Beal, he's done for the season. So I don't know what that's going to look like for the Wizards, right? The Pistons, Orlando, Indiana, I don't feel like there's any chance of them jumping up above the Knicks. So the Knicks have to leapfrog either Boston, Brooklyn, Charlotte, or Atlanta.
I think Charlotte's slipping.
Charlotte's slipping right now. They're 28-28. They lost 6 in a row.
Yep. What you think? You think of playing? What you think?
There's a chance. I think there's still a chance. Obviously, the Knicks are only 2 games back, but they're gonna have to keep winning, and they got a tough schedule. So they're gonna have to. They're not gonna win it all, right? I don't see the Knicks going on a 7, 8, 9 game win streak, but they're gonna have to win 3 games, maybe lose 1. Win 2
That's
games,
what I meant to ask
lose
you,
1.
sir. I'm sorry to cut you off, brother. You don't think they could go on that winning streak second half of the season?
I mean, they have a tough schedule, man. Their schedule is brutal in the second half of the season.
Wow.
So that's why I don't know if you can get one of those super long win streaks, because their schedule is just brutal in the second half.
They look like tonight. We can play like this constant.
I mean, right. If they can make this a habit. Now, the next 3 games coming up, they might be able to put something together. They play Portland, OKC, and Brooklyn. Who knows what Brooklyn's going to be like come February 16th?
When it was KD, he's out for a month, right?
KD's out for a while. They play home versus Brooklyn, but Kyrie's not going to be able to play. Who knows what's going on with Ben Simmons?
True.
You know what I'm saying? So, that could be a game that they get. But then after that, after the All-Star break, they play Miami, Philadelphia, Phoenix. And you know what Philly's looking like right now with James Harden over there. You know what I mean? So that's looking tough. And then they got the Clippers and Sacramento. But those are two teams that they could probably get, but then they go on with Dallas and Memphis and well, you know what? When I'm looking at it right now, actually,
here we go.
Hold up, wait a minute, because things kind of change. When I'm looking at it right now, there could be a stretch that the Knicks could go on a run. You got the Clippers and Sacramento, Dallas, Memphis is tough. Then Brooklyn, March 13th. Who knows what they're going to be like? Then Portland, they're not looking good. Washington, I don't expect them to be much. Utah at home, I think the Knicks can beat Utah. They play Atlanta at home. Then you got Charlotte, they're slipping. Miami, obviously that's tough. Then Detroit, Chicago is tough. Charlotte's slipping right now. Cleveland's going to be tough. Right, then you got Orlando, Brooklyn, Washington, Toronto. So there might be a chance that the Knicks could string some things together.
I feel it, Sam.
They might be able to string some things
another
together.
one.
You know what I mean? They might be able to do it. So, hey, we'll see what happens. It'll be lovely. You know what I mean? It'll be, and if the Knicks are able to string it together and get into that play-in, win a play-in game, get into the playoffs, it'd be one of the most up and down seasons that you've ever seen from this team.
In history.
In history, boy. I mean, excuse me. If you go on Knicks Twitter, look, I gotta log off that thing sometimes because people be going crazy.
For real.
People be going crazy on there, man. So, hey, let's hold out hope. And I'm sure they're looking at the schedule, say, you know what, this team was supposed to be good, but they've fallen off. They've fallen off and feeling like Randle said tonight. And I think the team knows it.
Mm-hmm.
They can beat anybody in the league, but they can lose to anybody in the league. It's all about their mental.
That's a true story.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, hey, AK, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for the time.
Homie, thank you, man.
Thank you for rocking with us at 1:30 in the morning, man.
Yeah, I just got out of work, brother.
Okay. All right. Appreciate you, man. Be safe.
One love, brother. One love to the chat and the people.
No doubt. One love to you, bro. Peace. Yeah, I mean, you know what? Looking at, we might have to recalibrate and look at that schedule again because a lot of the teams that we thought, this is going to be a little bit tougher than we thought, now just aren't looking as strong. They're not looking as strong. Now, this stretch coming back after the All-Star break, that's a brutal one. Miami, Philadelphia, Phoenix. That's a tough stretch. But the Clippers, Knicks can beat the Clippers. Sacramento, I don't know what they're going to look like because Sacramento, they might be looking tough. No lie, they might be looking tough. Dallas, I think the Knicks can beat Dallas. Memphis is a tough one. We don't know what Brooklyn's going to look like. They can beat Portland. They can beat Washington. I think they can beat Utah. I think they can beat Atlanta. I don't think they can beat Charlotte, though. The Knicks match up terribly against Charlotte. Miami, then they can beat the Pistons. I think they can beat the Bulls. So there's some teams there. We'll see what the Knicks do, man. I think the chance could still be there. I think it could still be there. Game stats on the night, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't get a chance to read them out, so I might as well read them out now. The Knicks won the rebounding battle, 51-38. 24 assists tonight for the New York Knicks, 27 for the Golden State Warriors. 3 steals for the Knicks, 4 for the Warriors. 3 blocks for the Knicks, 5 for the Warriors. The Knicks with 13 turnovers. They kept it kind of low because they've been averaging, the past 6-7 games, averaging 16 turnovers a night. They kept it to 13 tonight. But the Warriors had 7. They kept it to 7. All right, the Knicks shot 43.3% from the field. They shot 38.9% from the three-point line and 72.7% from the free throw line. The Warriors, 46% from the field, 33% from 3, and 88% from the free throw line. But what's encouraging is that the Knicks played well, very well offensively against, I think, coming into this game, the number 1 rated defense in the league. if not the number 1 rated defense, one of the top defenses in the league. And they played very well offensively against them. So that's encouraging. Very encouraging. Yeah. I didn't get a chance to talk to you, Tony, or Savvy. I want to know what you guys are feeling and what you're thinking about the trade deadline, though.
I mean, we talked about it yesterday, and I thought something had to be done to open a spot for Cam, just because giving up the first round pick and then not playing him didn't really make sense, didn't sit well with me. But at the same time, I thought it was very feasible that we end up coming back with the same team next year, and being a better team. So I'm disappointed, but it's not the end all be all. You know what I mean? Like, everything that I said prior to the season when we made these acquisitions is still true today, as far as I think these guys are movable, and next year they become even more of a movable asset with being expiring contracts. Everyone, other than Fournier. But yeah, so I wasn't too depressed, but I also had my phone off on purpose, so I wasn't getting the Twitter alerts from everybody's comments, and so I had no influence either.
Yeah. I was a little disappointed because I wanted the Knicks. I didn't think that there was a major move out there for them. I knew there wasn't a major move for them. I wanted them to make room for Cam. That's what I wanted the Knicks to do, is make room for Cam to play. I just think you don't trade a first-round draft pick and not play the man. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see him play. And, obviously he's playing right now because R.J. Barrett is out. There's injuries and et cetera. But eventually, when the Knicks get fully healthy, he's going back to the end of the bench, most likely. I want to see him out there on the floor playing. I want the Knicks to try to – I think he can help this team. I think he provides something that the Knicks just don't have, and that's that 3-man that can be an all-purpose guy. The Knicks, before Cam Reddish, didn't have that guy. Just he can rebound it for you. He can get assists. He can shoot the 3 a little bit. He can, he can get you in the mid post, jab step and pull up a mid range. He can go to the cup. He can get out on the break. He can have a lightning play where he dunks on somebody. Like, he can do all of those things, and he's athletic and he has length. I want to see him play, and I think that he changes the way this rotation looks, the roster looks. He changes it because, you can put him in. He can guard from 1 to 4. And I know we have several players that we say can do that, but it's a little bit different with Cam, I think, with the way that he's able to do it. He has long arms that can get into passing lanes. I just think he really does provide something that the Knicks are missing, and is a good fit for this team because he's the only one on the team that can provide it. So I want to see him out there playing, and that's why I really wanted to open up a spot for him to be consistently in the rotation. That was one of my bigger disappointments about the deadline.
It's real quick. When you was just describing Cam, you know who it sounded like you was describing?
Who?
Now, when we would have these conversations, behind the scenes or whatever, talking about if Knox would just put it all together and figure it out,
right? Because
we like,
right,
we don't have anybody else on the team with that kind of size built. You know what I mean? So yep. It's funny. It's funny. Like, listening to you, I'm just remembering how we used to talk about, like, if Knox would just put it together. And granted, he's an inch shorter, but I think he has an even better skill set all around, and shown more flashes than Knox has. But it's funny that we brought in this guy and he's more developed. yeah, let's use him. Let's figure out how good he could be. Basically.
Exactly. And I was disappointed when I heard or read the rumor that the Knicks were in discussions with the Raptors and the Lakers on a 3-team trade that was going to send Cam to the Lakers. And I was like, what the heck is going on? Like, what are y'all doing? You know, that was going to be my biggest question. What are y'all doing? And the Knicks were going to bring back Goran Dragic and Kendrick Nunn possibly and some draft picks. And I could understand the move for Goran Dragic, not because they want him to play point guard, but because it opened up $20 million in the offseason. I could understand that, but I didn't understand Cam going, you know, why you would trade Cam for Kendrick Nunn. You know what I mean? Clearly, from the reports and the rumors that were out there, the Lakers were really, really high and really, really want to try to get Cam Reddish. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that didn't happen. I still wish the Knicks found a way to open up a spot to play him.
Yeah.
You know, because I still don't think that Tom Thibodeau, once Derrick Rose comes back, once RJ Barrett is back full swing, it doesn't look like Kemba Walker is going to be bought out. You know what I'm saying? I don't think so unless something else happens. I think they're going to rock with this roster the way it is and see what it does. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what happens with Cam. He's going to end up being on the end of the bench until the offseason, the draft or the offseason where the Knicks can trade some of these veteran guys, you know, and open up a spot for them. And one of the reasons why I say that the Knicks aren't going to waive Kemba, they're not going to waive Alec Burks, is because, like you said, Tony, those guys are expiring contracts next year, right? So the Knicks can use them during the trade deadline or during the offseason to make some moves. They can use their contracts to make moves. It would be crazy to waive them now and you don't get the opportunity to use them to make a move. And it's not that other teams are going to be coveting Kemba or Alec Burks or Nerlens Noel. It's the contracts that they have that make the trades plausible. You know what I'm saying? And you may have to attach picks, or you may have to do whatever. You know what I'm saying? You're going to draft the player. You know, you may have to attach that guy to make a move work. You know what I'm saying? But it makes it plausible to make a move work. Remember, Malcolm Brogdon is out there. His contract goes to 23, 24 or something like that. $22 million a year. He was not able to be traded at the trade deadline, but he's able to be traded during the draft. You know what I'm saying? Which means the Knicks could take Alec Burks, Nerlens Noel, and package them for Malcolm Brogdon. And the Indiana Pacers get off that long contract and now have it expiring. You know, they free up money for the following offseason. You see what I'm saying? So that would be one of the reasons why the Knicks going to hold on to these guys. So you're probably seeing right out this season. You know what I mean? Savvy, any thoughts about that?
Yeah, I'm just glad that Mitch is still a New York Knick. It seemed like I was hearing his name left and right, you know, in trade talks. And for the life of me, I could not understand people and why they wanted to include him in every trade scenario. Oh, maybe we can give him Mitch. Maybe we can give him. Nah. That boy needs to stay in Knick for as long as we can keep him. When it comes to Cam Reddish, I feel like, you know, it was nice to see him get minutes tonight, but of course we know that, you know, it was much easier to do so because RJ Barrett is out. And so even though in the future I would like to see him and RJ sharing the court, I think part of what might have to happen is that he comes in for RJ and Burks just doesn't play the three anymore. I think if Burks can just be a relief point guard when we need him to, especially when we have Derrick Rose back in play, and I'm not sure about what that means for Kemba Walker. Deuce McBride is already not seeing the court. I would like him to see the court, but he's not seeing it. I think that would have to be the way that we have to go, because I think it is really important for us to get Cam in rhythm, get him moving, get him getting some burn and some experience in this offense, in this defense, in these rotations as soon as possible, so that we can give him time to really gain that cohesion with this team. I think the greater the chemistry becomes with him and the rest of the team, the greater he'll play. The more minutes he gets, the greater he'll play. And I think if he can maximize what he has to offer immediately while also steadily developing and getting better, I think that solves a lot of problems for us on the court that we can't solve for ourselves. And, you know, the one thing that gave me some pause was that Halliburton is in the Eastern Conference now, and he's not a Knick. And I didn't even know that would be a thing. And I was like, when I thought about who I was willing to give up to get him, it kind of makes sense why we didn't get him, even if we tried to get him. But that I feel like that's going to bite us down the line.
You know, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm about to get to this caller after I made this comment. To be honest with you, I don't think Leon Rose has any interest in Tyrese Halliburton. I don't think so. You know, obviously they passed over him in the draft to get Obi. That's who Leon Rose wanted. And then now, you know, with him being traded to the Indiana Pacers, nobody knew what was going down, and maybe the Sacramento Kings just would have rather had DeMonte Sabonis's contract than Julius Randle's. Understood. Right. I get it. But you didn't even hear anything about the Knicks
trying.
You heard that they had interest in De'Aaron Fox. Exactly. Not that they had interest in Tyrese Halliburton. You know what I mean? And obviously we don't know. They could have called a couple of times and said, hey, what's up with Halliburton? You know what I mean? I'm starting to think maybe Leon Rose is like, I'm not interested in that guy. Let's do something else. But let me get to this caller. Caller, you're live. Tell me your name and where you're from, please.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is JT. I'm calling from Seattle.
What's going on with you, man? How you feeling, JT?
I'm feeling good. I'm not really tripping about what happened with the trade deadline. I've been listening to you all. And I agree with my man. I think it was Tony that was saying it, how we have a bunch of expiring contracts next year with the team option. We got Noel, we got Burks, and we got Kemba. So, like, between all that, that's like almost, I want to say it's almost like $30 million that we can potentially trade.
Yep.
And I'm not, you know, like, I'm not tripping about Tyrese Halliburton either. I actually think, and it's not a popular opinion, but I think we can potentially make a play at Colin Sexton in the off season. So he's due for an extension. I'm not really sure what Cleveland's thinking, but I think we can package Fournier and somebody else potentially for Sexton. And I think long term we need to put RJ back at the 2, which was his natural position where he excelled last year, in my opinion. I think part of the reason why he got off slow is because he had to start guarding threes, which he's not really big enough. And they were guarding him, so he was struggling with some length. You put him back at the 2 with Fournier gone. You put Sexton at the 1, and then you move Reddish at the 3. So personally, from what I've seen, I think Reddish. I've seen enough. I think he's straight. Personally, I think he's better suited in the starting lineup than Grimes. And I don't really care if Tibbs plays him or doesn't play him. Like, I've seen enough. Like, I'm sold on Reddish. So I think Leon, this is more of a long-term move. The season's a wash anyway. So however we can figure out Colin Sexton, I think would make sense. I know he's not a traditional point guard, but we don't really need one in the sense that we got Julius and RJ, and Cam is a little bit of a playmaker himself. And I think if Sexton can give us like 5 assists, which he averaged last year, or like 4 assists, I think we're Gucci. So this is my thoughts, but I wanted to hear what y'all thought about that.
Yeah, you know what? With Colin Sexton, one of the things now is you got to see how he comes back from injury.
Yeah, he's coming back for the playoff push, so we're going to be able to see the audition. But I actually think if he comes back a little shaky, we might be able to get him on the low, or he might take like a short-term deal, you know what I mean, which would be better out for us. I'm not really trying to sign him to a long-term deal anyways. I like the flexibility we have, but at the end of the day, we really haven't had an exciting point guard since like Linsanity, if I'm going to keep it real. So it's like, dude can go out for 40. You know what I mean? Like I said before, I don't think we need like a Chris Paul anymore. I think RJ is a very, very underrated playmaker. Like I've seen him make Mitch look great. And again, we have Deuce on the bench, so it's like, who knows what Deuce is going to look like in year 2. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I think a lot of the teams now, like Golden State with Steph, obviously I'm not saying Colin and Steph, but you don't really have point guards that are averaging like 6, 7+ assists anymore. You know what I mean? It's like a more of a ball fluid movement
I get
type
it.
of ordeal, and we even have Julius and RJ who can also pass. I think it's more of like a team free-flowing offense. That's kind of where the league's going right now.
Yeah, I get it. Back to Sexton. I thought he was out for the entire season.
I've heard rumors that he's going to be back for the playoff because the Cavs are in the playoffs, so he might be back.
Okay, if they go,
I don't know, about a month or so.
Maybe they go second round or something like that. It could happen. Okay, hey, we'll see. Without a doubt, I think the Knicks' first option is going to be Jalen Brunson. I think that's probably going to be their first option, but. You know what I mean? Right now, the Knicks got to try to track through the remainder of this season, see if they can fight their way into the play-in, and then I guess go from there, man. JT, I appreciate you, bro.
Hey, appreciate y'all too. Keep doing it. I'm over on the West Coast, so it's still early for me. So I appreciate y'all still going at East Coast time.
Yeah, it's 2:00 in the morning here, but it's early for you, so that's what's up. Appreciate you.
I appreciate y'all.
Keep joining us, man. All right.
Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, please do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel right now. Hit that like button. All right? Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. We got tons of shows on here. You know what I mean? Obviously, we got the game preview. We got the post-game shows. We got the shoot-around the day after the games. You know what I'm saying? We got the crossover. We got the Queens Code. We got the controversy. We got more coming. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Get this New York Knicks content. Let's take a listen to Tom Thibodeau and what he thought about tonight's game. He's got to be relieved to finally get a win after having a double-digit lead. The Knicks almost gave it back, but, got to be relieved to get a win. Tom Thibodeau, y'all.
I think it's important because of where we are, and the thing that I liked about it was the resolve of the team tonight. I felt the first game of the trip, the Laker game, we played well in, and it got away at the end. I thought we did the same thing in Utah. It got away at the end. We had a poor second quarter at Denver. That didn't play well in that game, and then I thought we played really well today. So. Each day we just got to put everything we have into it. We can't look too far ahead. We can't feel too good about it. Feel good that we won tonight, but get ready for the next one. So we got to keep scratching them out. I think that can be said for the whole team, and he drives it. Like when he plays like that, and we've said it all along, it drives the team. And if we play with pace, in transition, but also pace in the half court. But I love the unselfishness of the team today. They did a lot of switching, and I thought we drove the ball, and we weren't trying to shoot it over their sides. We just try to make the right play. And when you play like that, you're going to get good shots. And so I thought we had a number of guys just play really well. I thought the bench gave us good minutes. Julius was terrific. Evan terrific. Kemba gave us great minutes. You know, it was really a real solid team win. You know, and to play, you know, to win here, you know, it takes a whole team, you know, playing as hard as you can on every possession. Good. Cam has been terrific, you know, like, and we knew when we made the trade that there was a log jam, and he didn't really, but his attitude has been terrific. So, and that's what I go by, and he's going to play based on performance, and so it's how you practice that's important. It's how you conduct yourself that's important, and you get what you earn, and that's, you know, that's for everyone. It's, you know, that's why Quentin's in there. It started off for Quentin by the way he practiced, and then when he got his opportunity, he played great for us. You know, he plays tough on every possession, and like to win in this league, you have to have competitiveness. It's a big part of it. Like, you know, I don't buy into like, you know, the thing about potential and all that. You get what you earn in this league.
We have one more game left before last week. You come home doing 3. You feel like that's going to be a stepping stone?
Well, I don't know stepping stone, but it's important for us to play well and to continue to improve. That's the important thing. Put everything we have into each and every day. You know, we got to scratch and claw and fight. That's what we have to do. Our margin of error is very small right now. I don't know, you know, like, that's why I don't like to buy into any of that stuff. Like, that's why it's so important to establish a routine. And I think when you have competitors, they don't look at any of that stuff. A competitor wants to win. You don't care where he is. It's like, what time's that ball? What time are we going? All right. And he wants to win a jump ball. He wants to win a loose ball. He wants to win a rebound. He wants to win whatever it is you're doing. He wants to win the day at practice. You know, if you're going to have a conditioning test, he wants to win that. We need competitors.
Competitors, ladies and gentlemen. That's what he said. The Knicks need competitors. I mean, I think there's competitors on the team. You know what I mean? And I think Cam Reddish is probably one of those competitors, maybe. Cam Reddish seems to be kind of like real cool, real smooth. I hope that doesn't backfire on him. You know, when you look at his style of play, it doesn't look like he's giving great effort, but it doesn't mean he's not giving great effort. You know what I mean? It's just the way that he looks, his style of play. You know what I mean? But anyway. Oh, go ahead, Saga.
I know what you mean about Cam's demeanor. You know, he's a very relaxed, laid back guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let's look at the context of his moves, right? He was coming off the bench for an Eastern Conference team with an all-star point guard that made and a veteran decorated center, right? That made a deep playoff run last season, and he asked for a trade because his role wasn't big enough. That's his competition to me. That's his competitor to me.
That's whose competitor?
Cam. A lot of guys would be happy to just be there.
Oh, well,
a lot of
okay.
guys would be happy to just be there.
I see what you're saying. Yep. I mean,
and come in for 5-10 minutes and hold it down. He's like, nah, I want to be the guy on the court contributing crucial minutes. I want to be a part of getting this done. Yeah. Like I'm not just going to sit around and take the ride. Nah, put me in the game or ship me away.
Right.
And he asked for that after they made a deep playoff Eastern Conference run.
Right. And you know what?
You gotta love a guy like that.
I also believe Tom Thibodeau is sending a message to Cam too. Right? He says, I don't care about potential. You got to earn what you want in this league. I think that's a direct message to Cam, not just to Cam, but also guys like Obi. It's like, yo, you're not going to get anything just because, you know.
We think you might be good someday.
Right. You know what I mean? You know, you're Obi Toppin, or you're Cam Reddish, or you went to Duke, you know what I mean, or you did this or that in college. You know what I mean? You got to earn it. And I think that's a direct message to Cam, and hopefully Cam gets it. And listen, if Cam gets it and receives it, man, I think he has the ability to do some special things in the league. We'll see where it goes and what happens, though. You know, before we get out of here, because it is, you know what I mean, 2 o'clock in the morning, I do want to get some rest every now and then. I got to shut my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Tony, do the Knicks have it in them to make that run and get into play-in, and then get into play-in and fight their way into the playoffs? Do they have it in them?
I think they're in the play-in for sure. I think getting to the playoffs really is going to depend on our opponents. And you know, we talked about it beforehand, you know, and I thought I'd be scared of it, but I actually think I would like it if you know, Brooklyn continues to slide and somehow we end up playing them in the play-in for a spot. That would be a nice nice game that we could all go to and enjoy and but yeah, I'm rocking with the Knicks. They get to the play-in. I think they win. They win.
Yeah,
they get in.
See, the thing is this: if they get to the play-in, I would like, if they got to be in the play-in, I'd like for them to be
7,
or 8, right? Because you get 2 chances to get in. If
Just
they
need
get 9
win.
or 10, it's more than likely they'll get 9 or 10, because the Celtics, you know, they're now 31-25. Right, so the Knicks right now are 6 games behind the Celtics. It's going to be tough to make up 6 games, I think. And they're on a 6-game winning streak.
What seed are they?
The Celtics, they're the 7th seed.
7th?
They're the 7th seed.
They may just climb though.
They might.
They may just climb. I think if they continue the way they're playing right now, they're gonna be 5th seed, 4th seed. You know what I mean?
I don't know, because right now. So right now, Milwaukee's the 4th seed, and they're 35-22. And then you got Philadelphia, they're the 5th seed. They just picked up, they're 32-22, and they just picked up James Harden.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You can, you know, they might get better. Well, I ain't going to say might, they should get better. And then Toronto, they're 31-23. They're the 6th seed. They've won 8 in a row. So, you know, it's a couple of teams that's playing pretty good.
I put my bet on Toronto falling. I put my bet on Philly rising, Milwaukee rising, Miami. They number 1. Miami.
They're number 1. Miami's number 1.
I put them, you know, within those top 4. Who am I missing? Who else is on that list?
You got Miami.
Who's the 2nd seed right now?
Miami's number 1. Chicago's number 2.
Chicago.
Cleveland is number 3. They're 34-21. They ain't going nowhere.
I don't believe that either. I think they could slide too. They're playing well, but they don't have. They're like us last year, right? The difference is they kind of was doing it from jump.
I mean, but I don't know. I think they are there.
You think they're legit?
I think they're legit because if you remember last year, at the beginning of last year, they were playing really well. And you know, they started to slide. Now they picked up Mobley. Too. Now they got Mobley in there. I think they're legit. And because they got Darius Garland, a point guard that can get the ball around, he can handle the rock, he can get in the lane, like he can do a lot of things. I think they really are. I think they're really legit. Will they stay the 3rd seed? I don't know.
I think they slide.
You know, they could slide. They could slide maybe to the 5th seed or somewhere around there. I could see them sliding to there. I don't think they slide out of the top 6. I don't think.
Right. And I have more confidence in the Raptors than Tone does. You feel me? I watched them play I watched them play games against Miami. I watched them play against a couple of other teams, and them boys got something going on over there. You know what I mean? They have chemistry. They got continuity.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like continuity is something that we have over a bunch of teams now that some trades have been happening, so we can catch a lick real quick with some wins. But a team like the Cavaliers is, I think they are what they are for real. I don't know what, if any, moves at all Atlanta made. I could see them stumbling here and there, falling down, you know, but they could still beat certain teams. Like, who knows how these 8, 9, and 10 seeds could go.
Yeah, it's going to be
depending
tough
on how they shake out with each other. If we can just not lose against the Eastern Conference so much in the bottom 5 teams,
right.
I feel like we'll be all right.
Yeah, you know, I
like
think a lot
right.
with the Knicks. I think it's going to depend on what happens with Charlotte if they continue to fall, and we'll see what happens with the Wizards. Because we got to jump over top of the Wizards right now. We're a game under the Wizards, and we lost to the Wizards the first time we played them. Mm-hmm. So I think, you know, a lot is going to depend on what happens with the Wizards, what happens with Charlotte, and then the Knicks. Of course, they got to win games. You know what I'm saying? You know, you win games, you can get yourself in there. It's going to be interesting coming down the stretch of the season, ladies and gentlemen. Very interesting. But anyway, I am up out of here. I'm going to give Tony, give Savvy a chance to say some last words, and then I'm jumping up out. Make sure you subscribe to this channel before you leave. If you're not subscribed, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Tony, some last words?
No tank talk. Let's finish this season strong.
Word.
Shout out to the chat. Son, keep doing your thing. Savvy, salute. Your blackest time. Yeah.
Savvy?
NYK all day, MBK for life. Salute to the chat and the panel. No tank talk. That's how you kill culture. Let's keep this competitive fervor. Good on you, Cam Reddish. And everybody's saying last time we had a good point guard, it was Jeremy Lin. Like they forgot about Jason Kidd. Come on.
Yeah, people always forget about Jason Kidd, but he was only here. He was only here a season. Yeah,
true. But anyway, what a season that was.
Shit.
Yeah,
our backup that year was good. Felton was good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Felton was the backup. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen,
think one good point guard.
We are out of here. Be peaceful, rest easy. I thank you all for being. We still got like 400 people here, 2:00 in the morning, man. I thank you all for being here and spending some time with us. We're gonna head up out of here. Yeah, trolls got to go to sleep. Yeah, get them trolls out of here. Go to sleep. Ladies and gentlemen, we're out. Be peaceful. Spread love as usual. Out.
This is NBK. Nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.